Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Apacer channel. My name is Ben, and today we are going to be giving you a detailed system explanation build featuring the ZADAK MOAB II Elite gaming chassis. But first, we have a special message from our marketing supervisor at ZADAK, Aaron Chow.
ZADAK is originated from dreamland of the Cthulhu mythos, created by an American writer back in the 1940s. ZADAK means your dream and power can be amplified infinitely with faith. There are 4 product series: Shield, Spark, MOAB, and Twist. For Shield series, it is designed for the users who like very unique and delicate design and see aesthetics as an enjoyment. And Spark series, we are aiming for the hardcore gamers who value performance as well as the aesthetics of the products. How about MOAB series? It is designed for users who like fancy design but also with legit performance. Last but not least, Twist series. It was created because we heard users' voice. They want something low profile yet with exquisite design. Hope you enjoy our products.
The ZADAK MOAB II Elite features an adjustable patented CPU water block, a CNC milled aluminum water distribution plate, a capacitive touch switch, a digital display that shows real-time water temperature, built-in addressable RGB, and a water level indicator to help you determine whether or not you need to add more water to the liquid cooling system. First, let's talk about the liquid cooling system. This acrylic model of the ZADAK MOAB II Elite demonstrates the cooling system inside the PC chassis. This only looks slightly like an ant farm. The ZADAK MOAB II Elite water flow starts off at the top right area here on the chassis. It gradually goes in a circle around the exterior of the chassis here until it reaches the CPU heatsink at the top, and then drops into this tank where the laws of physics gradually restore the water temperature to room temperature. Before we get too deep into this video, it would be a good idea to go ahead and show you the hardware that we are using on the left-hand side of your screen, and then go over it line by line and tell you why we went with the hardware that we chose. So let's talk about the GPU, shall we? We're not here to tease you all with our outdated GPU, but for this build in particular, we decided to go with a GTX 2080 from ASUS. It's not too terribly old, and it should still, relatively speaking, deliver a high-quality gaming experience for years to come. So here we are with our 2 sticks of DDR4 RAM from ZADAK, giving us a grand total of 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I must say, I do think that once we have these installed, they will complement our system build while also adding to the performance of the build itself. Remember, however, the more RAM you add to your system build, the smaller and smaller the performance increase you get becomes. We recommend using anywhere from 16 gigabytes to 64 gigabytes of RAM, depending on the clock speed that you will be using and what kind of applications you are going to be using. Are you doing lots of video editing? Maybe some 3D rendering? Do you stream on YouTube or Twitch? You have to have at least 144 FPS for every game that you play? Then by all means, go with 64 gigabytes of RAM. If you are doing none of these things, consider going with 16 or 32 gigabytes of RAM. When it comes to the topic of storage capacity, this becomes a question that the user must subjectively answer on his or her own. I personally remember using a 120 gigabyte SSD for 2 years, but that is specifically because I only played and streamed 1 or 2 different games on Twitch and very seldom did any screen recording on my local desktop machine. So, ask yourself, will you be doing a lot of video recording and editing? Do you absolutely positively have to have every single game on your Steam library installed to your desktop PC? Or can you supplant this need by using your strong internet speeds? At any rate, our storage device for this particular machine will be the Spark PCIe Gen 3x4 M.2 RGB SSD. This SSD can read and write up to 3,400 megabytes per second and 3,000 megabytes per second, respectively. With this particular chassis, we recommend you go with a modular power supply unit, and that is to make sure that you keep the build and the cable management both clean and organized. In this particular instance, however, we are using an SFX form factor PSU with a wattage of 500. And now it's time to present to you all the cream of the crop, the MOAB II Elite chassis in the flesh. In order to turn on the chassis, all you have to do is apply your finger to the top of the power switch and then slide it down. This gives the chassis a modern yet futuristic feel. Next up is our digital temperature gauge. For clarity's sake, this shows the temperature of the water flowing throughout the chassis. This chassis also has adjustable RGB lighting, which is compatible with ASUS AuraSync, MSI Mystic Light, Gigabyte RGB Fusion, and ASRock Polychrome, and other similar softwares we can demonstrate now. The CPU water block is a patented solution made of aluminum that can be adjusted or readjusted as necessary to fit the motherboard profile you are using and make sure the CPU stays cool, all without the need to bend, cut, or prep water cooling loops. This makes a job that would ordinarily take 4 to 8 hours into a 1 to 2 hour task. And finally, there is a water level indicator that tells you when you need to change the water, but that's not the only thing that it's good for. You need to be careful when using this. If you bump into the valve the wrong way, you may cause a discrete leak that doesn't cause damage to the system. When appropriate, or if you are worried about the chassis itself, be sure to take it back to the dealer you purchased it from to get it fixed or apply maintenance. At the end of the day, the ZADAK MOAB II Elite chassis is a PC chassis that is best put to use by system builders and case modders to resell for clients that expect a higher-end computer for gaming or generally high-demand tasks. It has had many previous renditions that have been gradually tweaked from MOAB 1 to MOAB 2 to MOAB 2 Evo to MOAB 2 Ultimate, and now its final rendition, the MOAB II Elite. If you guys are curious about this product, make sure you check out the product page that you can find in the description below this video. If you guys thought this video was helpful, make sure you leave us with a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions or any comments, make sure you leave them in the comments below. And last but not least, if you guys think you'll be back, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. My name is Ben, and we'll see you all in the next video.